chapter of 1 Samuel, a story you have heard since you were a child in Sunday school. We read in verse 2 of 1 Samuel 17 that Saul and his men, the men of Israel, had gathered and camped in the valley of Elah. And what makes the valley intimidating is not the landscape. It is the presence of a champion. He's called that more than once in this chapter. In fact, the emphasis always falls on the externals when you deal with giants. In this case, we read that the Philistines stood on the mountain on one side and Israel stood on the mountain on the other side, and the valley between them. Then a champion came out from the armies of the Philistines named Goliath. I know you know the story. I know you're familiar with where it's going, but I want to ask you for a few moments to put yourself in that valley and to imagine looking across the way and seeing this huge, imposing individual in full armor. We read that he was about 9 feet 7 inches tall. He says, choose a man for yourselves and let him come down. If he's able to fight with me and kill me, we will become your servants. And we read they were intimidated to the point, into verse 11, that they gave way to dismay and fear. See it? Greatly afraid.
Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and the fear is unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Waharakah Kadash. That belongs to the elders, those of the authority, and in the spirit. Salutations to you, fellow warriors, fellow brethren, the election that have attained it, the house of David that is being built up through the fire, through the persecution, through the trials and tribulations. And we're in a very special time, and the Lord, he's speeding up time, and you gotta get busy. You gotta get busy, and not so much of building yourself up carnally and in this world with, getting promotions and getting more money and, decking yourself out and buying gold and all that Bitcoin, all bullshit. But building yourself up on the inside. You see, cleaning first, that's what's on the inside. What's on the outside, that's going to follow after. That has to be an afterthought. That's being an afterthought. And with all these things coming out and being exposed in Revelation, and guys really showing their hand, who they're shaking, whose hand they're shaking, and whose hand they're joining with. See, a lot of guys are not in the hand of the Lord. They're hand in hand with Esau, the devil. And it's a very seductive times, very deceitful times. And you have to be in the spirit to be able to recognize real. Because real's going to recognize real. But we don't recognize a lot of guys because a lot of guys are fake and phonies. And that's why we don't waste our time with the reprobates, you see. But we warn the sheep every day about the characteristics and what tactics and what the wolves use to try to take advantage of the sheep. So that's what we do for the sheep, man. That's what we do for you other brothers out there. Keep you in the way and keep the others out of the way and away from those that remain and those that are in the spirit. Those that are still pure and undefiled with this fucking world. That's what it means when it says in Revelation, for they are virgins. 2 Maccabees chapter 10. 2 Maccabees chapter 10. In verse 25. But when he drew near, they that were with Maccabeus turned themselves to pray unto God. So you have to turn and pray unto the Lord. Keeping your mind always meditating on prophecy and the spirit, praying always without ceasing. Because there's enemies on every side, and there's a lot of guys even in this truth within that want us to stop and cease from what we're doing. But see, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop until this kingdom drops. And a lot of you false brethren, false prophets, you drop too. Because a lot of guys, they're falling down. They're worshiping Baal. They're worshiping the many prophets of Baal. The many false prophets, the many legions. because they are many. And see, now that when we come around, right, they're saying the same thing that legion was saying, that demon was saying. Did you come to torment us before our time? See, their time is just about up. And that's why, guys, they hate us. They hate us. They ignore us. You see? But it's all good. See, they did the same thing to Yahushua. You see? It says, turn themselves to prayer unto God, and sprinkled earth upon their heads, and gird their loins with sackcloth. So the two witnesses are going to be prophesying for a certain amount of time in sackcloth, man. Not costly array. And a lot of you guys, you have respected persons in a lot of these camps. You have respected persons because when you go to James, it talks about that. When one comes in gay clothing, you have respect for the one in gay clothing, the happy clothing, that the attire, you know, the fresh shoes. You know, you respect them rather than respecting someone that has worn out shoes. You see, but these shoes that we wear, they weren't, these shoes, right? Because Jake loves shoes. They weren't used to show off, right? They were used to walk and get to work and get dirty, you see? But a lot of guys, they still have that worldly spirit. Oh, don't step in my shoes. Don't step in my Nikes. And that's a deity too. Nike goes back to the Greeks. James 2 and verse 1. My brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. So when guys get all in their emotion, oh guys, there's dudes that disrespecting the elders. It has nothing to do with that. It's what we're doing is we're establishing judgment in the gate. And the Lord said, cause not any of the reverence, respect of any man to cause you to fall. It doesn't matter how old he is or how young he may be, or if he's your family member, or if he's in your camp. You see, and this is the truth. This is the truth how it's supposed to be brought out, man. Uncut, raw, straightforward. You know. It says, for if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? So that's what's become of a lot of men. They become judges of evil thoughts because they're judging on the outside, on the social media, how much subscribers you got, how much likes he has, how many people are on his comment board praising him, how much robots he got on his comment praising him, how much blind people just pray, oh, good video, oh my gosh, I learned so much, oh my gosh, you're so great, you're so... Man, you got people just stroking guys' egos, man. And Yahushua is just not even there. The spirit of sound judgment, of power, of authority, of a just balance, of mercy, and of rebuke. You see, because if guys would rebuke how the Lord rebuked, and guess what? They would lose a lot of subscribers. You know, if they didn't try to trim the way to seek love and validation in this fucking demonic-ass world, then they'd be in the same situation as us, having to make a YouTube channel every other month whenever our channel be taken down. See, but we're in a time now where the Lord, he's building something so powerful and so great that no one's gonna be able to break it down. You see, which is the elect. He's building us up through the spirit, not of social media. This is just something, this is an outlet we use. You see, but it's not, this ain't forever. You see, James 2 and yeah, that's it right there. So let me go back to 2 Maccabees chapter 10 and 26, and fell down at the foot of the altar and besought him to be merciful to them and to be an enemy to their enemies. You see, so the Lord, he's being an enemy unto our enemies, not just Esau and the heathens, but even the enemies of the cross, those that have crossed out Yahushua, that take him out of the word and out of their doctrine, teaching doctrine of devils for filthy lucre. And then you have certain guys, they'll try to like bring out Yahushua, or the stone that the builders rejected. See, they're saying that with their mouth, but in all reality, through the spirit, they're the ones that's rejecting Yahushua unto damnation to themselves and to all those that listen to them. You see? It says, and to be an enemy to their enemies, and an adversary to their adversaries, as the law declareth. And that's what we see happen. The angel of the Lord, right, is chasing the wicked. So the Lord said that he may run that readeth. A lot of guys are not reading, not studying to show themselves approved. And the Lord is actually chasing them away from the truth, chasing them away from the Spirit. And they're getting further and further away from the point, and further away from the key of knowledge, what this thing is all about, further and further away from the light and outer darkness. You see? This is the book of Psalms. Psalms 35 and verse 4. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. So the Lord talked about in Revelation 11, if any man try to hurt the two witnesses or do them wrong or try to kill them, they must be killed. They must be put to death. So guys, they try to mute us and cancel culture us. Well, guess what? The Lord is canceling them now. You see? And the Lord is all that matters. Says, let them be as chaff before the wind. Let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit. Right, without a cause, man. You see? And that's why it's woe to guys. We're past the times of mercy. That time is closing. It says, for without a cause they have hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And it's heavy too, bro, because, see, guys, they try to set us up. But see, by them doing all that work and trying to like make counsels against us, guess what? They're falling into their own grave, man. So just like the Lord said, he called the disciple. He said, "I'm gonna make you a fisher of men." We're not just fishers of men in the sense of the elect. We're also fishing out the bad fish, and we're now casting them back into the sea, back into the world you go. You see, back into the world you go. You see, it's like in Maccabees chapter 10. And verse 22, so he slew those that were found traitors and immediately took the two castles. So we're immediately taking this truth. We're immediately taking this word, man, and using it how it's supposed to be. The last garrison. And we're slaying the wicked through the Spirit, through the mouth of the prophets, through what we're saying. We're saying the words of the Lord, what he wants us to say. See, we're not saying just whatever, we're not just random talk and babbling. Oh, I'm gonna do a video on woman today. Yeah, you woman, you're wicked. Like that's not what Yahushua is saying right now. You see what I'm saying? It's not expedient right now. See, these things that we're saying is expedient, is important, is what matters most. You see? Now let me jump down. Second Maccabees 10 and verse 29. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses, with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews. And took Maccabeus betwixt them, which means between, right, in the middle, and covered him on every side weapons, and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. And that's what's happening. So what's happening right now with like Esau and Biden and shit, oh, the Delta and the people that are unvaccinated, they're killing people. It's spiritual though. It's very spiritual. You see, it's a very spiritual what's happening now, and you have to be in the spirit to understand and have the weapons of battle to come against the wicked, come against the adversaries that are trying to destroy us and pollute the temple, which we're the temple now, brothers. So you have to have your guard up at all times. You see? So let me jump to the next precept. All right, Psalms 26. Psalm 26 and verse 5, it says, I have hated the congregation of evildoers. So we hate you guys, man. We hate you wicked. We hate you perverted men. You see? It says, I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and I will not sit with the wicked. You see? And where do they sit? They sit in Moses' seat. They're all comfortable. They have a place in this world. You see? Where like in Matthew 23, where they say something and everyone listens to them. See, we say something and everyone despises what we say. They cast our words behind their back. But really what you're doing, you're casting the Lord behind you, man. Because the Lord's speaking through us. It says, I will wash my hand in innocency, so I can pass thine altar, O Lord, that I may publish with thy voice of thanksgiving and tell of all thy wondrous works. So we're telling the wondrous works, O Lord, that they're hidden. It says, Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house and the place where thine honor dwelleth. See, Lord, he doesn't receive honor from men. You see? Honor this man, honor this elder. I honor you, I honor you. Yahushua wasn't getting that, and we're not getting that. It says, gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. You see? So we're washing ourselves and through the washing of the word, hearing the word, teaching the word. See, which this thing is all about. You see? Don't believe the hype of all the false anointeds out there. You see? John 18:1. When Yahushua had spoken these words, he went forth with the disciples over the brook Kedron, where he was a garden, into the which he entered and his disciples. And it's spiritual that he entered into a garden, because this is going back into the beginning where we was in the garden. But what was amongst us in the garden? In paradise, you have the serpent. And the same thing in this truth now. Amongst this heavenly calling, right, we have serpents slithering around and shit. You got guys in all these big camps coming against us sideways, coming against us in a slithery, serpentine way. And where we see you, man, because our grass is cut low. We stay on the low. We're lowly, and we see things way before they even get close to us. You see? So we're gonna trample and trod on all you serpents and all you vipers out there. It says, and Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place. For Yahushua oft times resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. You see? So their weapons were carnal. It was divisives. It was fleshly. See, they didn't have the spiritual weaponry, and that's what is gonna happen with Esau and these 2/3. See, their witchcraft, their sorcery, just like the magicians of Egypt, that shit ain't really working no more. It's not working against the real power of the Lord, this right hand power that we have. And the only thing left for them to do is what? To come after us, to chase after us, just like in the Red Sea. He saw Israel was getting away, the oppressor, the persecutors, and they had to chase Moses and Israel into the Red Sea to try to get him back. You see, but you ain't getting us back. See, we're gone, man. We're in the straight gate. And Lord's gonna rain that judgment upon you. See, as all these things is getting geared up for our deliverance and our deliverance, the righteous shall be scarcely saved. You wicked out there, you're not gonna be saved. You're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna try to save your life, and you're gonna be destroyed. Lord's gonna kill many. The slain of the Lord shall be many. You see, so that's how they came at Yahushua, and that's how they're gonna come to us. And this is all heavy, big prophecy that's about to take place. All right, Matthew, Slakia. Mark 14:21 says, let me start verse 20. Says, and he answered and said unto them, it is one of the 12 that dippeth with me in the dish. So it's amongst this truth, guys that are like trying to talk about the same topics we're talking about. They're trying to dip their hand in the dish of Yahushua and his anointed, and where the true spirit is, and where the true men of the Lord are. They're trying to dip, they're trying to dig in with us. You see? But it's deceitful. It says, the Son of Man indeed goeth, as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man he'd never been born. So, guy, man, it would have been better. You never even were born. See, a lot of guys, you came out right when you came out the womb, right when you came out the world, so to say. You was immediately speaking lies, man, being deceitful. Teaching things which you ought not. So it's woe to a lot of you guys, man, at this point. And that's the few last prophecies that are going to take place at an instant, in a twinkling of an eye, where we shall be changed. You see, this corrupt must put on incorruption. But a lot of you guys that are corrupted and destroyed, you're part of the sons of perdition in this time. You change as a moon. You're not gonna be changed, man. You're gonna stay in the flesh, and flesh and blood ain't gonna enter in the kingdom of heaven. You're not gonna be able to enter, man. Luke, let's go to Luke. And I'm gonna close out. I gotta get back to the plantation, because we actually have to work. Unlike a lot of you guys that sold the fuck out, got your face in the fucking camera. You got guys in the freaking playgrounds with a beautiful view. This is your rest. This is your fucking rest. You wicked, evil men. You false brethren. You false apostles. You fake, phony elders. You see? You get the honors of men, but you do not have the honors from the Lord. The Lord does not honor you. Lord's only honored of the lowly, bro. Guys are high. Guys are high. High off pride and arrogancy and witchcraft and shit. Luke 12 and 30. Sorry, let me get this as well. So a lot of guys are not going to be able to enter in, you see? Because they're just out of pocket. All right. Luke 13 and verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. See, they're not going to be able to do what the few that's walking this thing, how it's supposed to be walked alone, one man at a time, and teaching other brothers that, I can't hold your hand. It's a one at a time. You can't bring your dog, your family, your loved ones, any other brother, your big camp with you. No, you have to go one at a time, bro. So a lot of guys deceiving the sheep in that aspect too. They think the Lord's just going to deliver the whole camp. Oh, it's going to be one UFO, one chariot. It's just going to deliver all the elect. Well, the scriptures don't say that. The Lord said, as birds flying, so shall the Lord deliver and defend Jerusalem. As birds, that's plural. That means there's going to be many chariots. The Lord's going to come back with his tens of thousands of angels. He's going to shout with a great shout and gather his 12 tribes, his elect from the four winds. You see? So it's going to be monumental, man. You see? So a lot of guys, the Lord don't know you. And that's why we don't know you. You're strange. Strange fire, strange children. And you're part of the problem that we have to be delivered from. Because all men have not faith. All men have not Yahushai. A lot of guys have the faith of the Lord with respect to persons, which the Lord said not to have in James 2, which I just read. You see? But guys, they're looking at this thing carnally. You see? They're looking at this thing with their eyes, with eyes that have been darkened. Guys' eyes are darkened. You see? But we have the beam out our eye, and we're full of light, and we see everything for what it is. You know? We see everything for it is. And, in times past, we might have, try to give guys the benefit of the doubt. But now the Lord's like, nah, man. What I'm showing you is the truth. Ezekiel 8. Look in between the wall. Look what the ancients of Israel do. Look what they're doing. Look at the abominations. Look how wicked and perverse they are. How against the Lord they are. But they're acting like they're with the Lord. But really they're with Baal. And that's why there's a heavy, swift judgment. Matter of fact, I'm going to close off here. Malachi 3 and 5. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I'll be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. Right, and we have a right to serve the Lord. And we have a right to get this truth free and give it out free too, without charge. You see? Without charge. Verse 8. Will a man rob God, yet ye have robbed me? But ye say, see out their mouth, wherein have we robbed thee? You see? All these questions that they already know the answer to. That we know the answer to. It says, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. And Lord, he wasn't talking to Esau here. Who was he talking to? He was talking to the priests, bro. The so-called leaders of the nation, the prophets, that should have been right. But they were cursed doing the work of the Lord. They were perverting the gospel. They were taking advantage of the Lord and his sheep in tithes and offerings, robbing the Lord's pasture, spoiling them. So that's why they're just as bad and even worse than Esau. They've overdone the deeds of Esau. They've gone above and beyond on some Buzz Lightyear shit. You see? Esau got NASA. That's all bullshit. Well, Israel got the temple and got the fame, the famous, and the social media prophets. Yeah, man, let me get out of here. I made the point, what they've done, they've taken away the key of knowledge, man. But see, we have it, so we're able to open the doors that they try to keep closed. We're able to open doors that they want shut, and we're able to shut doors that they want open, you see, because they're totally upside down when it comes to the Lord, what the Lord's will he wants them to do. But yeah, let me get out of here, brother. Out your ears, you better stay strong and keep warring on. Our warfare is almost accomplished, but this is the last battle, the last garrison. We have to defend it with our lives. We haven't suffered striving against sin unto blood yet, so guess what? It's go time now, man. We're in the time now where it's not just talking no more. You're gonna have to eat your words. Do you really mean it? Do you really love the Lord? Do you really mean it when you say you'll lay down your life for the Lord? See? And that's something we're all gonna be faced with. All praises, glory, honor, fear. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Above all, a Shalom Bayaf that would die.